I'm bringing you exclusive details on secrets and changes to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies Season 3 directly from Treyarch because I was part of a creator call a few days ago. Let's go over some of the significant changes coming to Zombies this season, including things we've been asking for since day one and some secret Easter eggs coming in the new Rift. You're going to want to make sure you watch all of the videos so you don't miss out on any juicy details. Jumping straight in, we know that all the new content for this season won't be coming until Season 3 Reloaded, but there will be significant gameplay changes available straight away from the launch of Season 3, which honestly might be the biggest news of the whole season. That news being we are officially finally getting an increase to our stash space. At the current moment, it is only a maximum of 10 items if you haven't glitched it past that limit, but now this will be increased by double for a maximum of 20 items in the stash as opposed to the 10 that it's been from launch. This change was described as a way for players to have more comfort with all the acquisitions that they'll find and that they know this is going to be a significant thing for most players. But on top of that, similar to ensured weapons, extracting with essence after this update will reduce the cooldown of all of your schematics, meaning that finally there is a way to reduce the ridiculous cooldowns that there has been on all of these new classified schematics, with some things being up to 3 days of a wait. But finally, there will now be a way to reduce this cooldown. So specifically, how this is going to work is it is all designed around how much essence you are exfilling with at the end of a game. There's a certain amount of essence to a certain amount of time reduced on all cooldowns. I don't have the specifics right now, but I'm sure we'll learn very quickly from the update going live how that's going to work. But what's great about this is, as mentioned, it isn't to reduce the cooldown on one specific schematic. This will be to reduce the cooldowns on all of your current schematics that are on a cooldown timer. Now, we have been waiting so long for these two changes to come into the game, so this is a massive W, and I'd love to know your thoughts about this in the comments below and by dropping the video a thumbs up if you're excited by this news. Now, in the creator call, when it came to talking about zombies, we had Kevin Drew from Treyarch who introduced it, but then made a very big announcement. We've assumed for quite a while now that Treyarch were no longer working on Modern Warfare Zombies and had moved on to work on Black Ops Gulf War. But Kevin pointed out that Treyarch has been working with Sledgehammer Games since the very beginning on Modern Warfare Zombies, and that Sledgehammer Games are going to be taking the story and mode to its conclusion in the remaining seasons and finish strong. And he wanted to thank everyone at this point for playing Modern Warfare Zombies and hoping that they enjoyed this slightly different take on COD Zombies, but he is no longer going to be present in these creator calls on behalf of Treyarch as he is busy with other things that he can't talk about just yet. And so Sledgehammer Games will be, at least in these creator calls, but potentially also publicly facing, going to be talking about Modern Warfare Zombies from now on, as they are now the lead developers on the seasonal content. We have seen some devs from IW who were making some of the season 2.5 content a few months ago, but it seems it's going to be Sledgehammer, and the rest of the Zombies content was presented by Richard Carrillo, who is the creative director at Sledgehammer Games. And he notes that the Sledgehammer Games team are really excited to drive the future seasonal content for Modern Warfare Zombies. So quickly going over what we know for Season 3 content-wise. Continuing on the story, a new rift has opened in Urzikstan with Dr. Jansen going AWOL, entering the rift alone. The team must enter the rift, find Dr. Jansen with Ravenov's help, extract her before she's consumed by the Dark Entity. And this mission is the first time that we'll come face to face with the Dark Entity, so expect an epic reveal and a new enemy variant standing in our way. After completing our mission and saving Jansen, there will now be opportunity to unlock the new Dark Aether Rift. Now, in order to unlock it, we'll need to find 3 relics in Urzikstan, and we actually got a hint on how we're going to find one of them, and the hint was that depth perception is going to be what we're going to need to find one of them. So the goal with the Rift was to make it the most challenging and rewarding yet. So to align this new balance in difficulty, they've added some new gameplay objects into this Dark Aether Rift, which are going to be secrets that are going to make it a little bit easier. And more importantly, it will push players to work together. And the clue that we were given is to look out for a very special zombie head, zombie arm, and zombie foot. Apparently, we can't miss them. Now, we know from leaks that there were some sort of perma-perk type abilities that you would gain from getting some of the Rift items for this season's quest. And potentially what this could be is, in fact, in the Dark Aether Rift, there'll be objects that will give you some additional bonus powers. And we know from the leaks that this is supposed to be some sort of additional damage increase, as well as a increase in your movement speed, as well as there being one for something to do with zombie vision. Again, that's just me interpreting from what was leaked, but they didn't actually specify what these do. But there are some weird secret Easter egg objects in the Dark Aether. And very similar similar to previous seasons, the Elder Sigil will be how you unlock the brand new schematics in this new Dark Aether Rift. We already know about the new schematics, but a little bit more context on the dead wire detonators is it specifically adds dead wire to all of your explosive weapons and equipment, so being able to add that to launchers and grenades. The specific mention that this will be really good at locking down hordes. The golden mask filter adds regeneration to all of the gas masks while standing outside the gas, and the Sergeant Beret gives you a merc disguise and a friendly merc companion who will follow you into the new Dark Aether Rift and last for the entire duration of the match. And they also mentioned that all of these schematics were inspired by Warlords, which I thought was pretty neat because the leaks also suggested that these were all items from Warlords. And we know that there's a new Warlord coming late in the season, which is Rainmaker, that's situated on Raha Island. But let's be honest, none of us are really that interested in that sort of thing. Now, usually with all of these creator calls, there is a Q&A session at the end where us creators can ask the developers questions directly, but the questions had to be related to the content that is coming for season 3, so we couldn't ask about any questions to do with future content in MWZ, which is a little bit frustrating because I think that's something that all of us want to at least have some light shed on the potential of other things coming. Like, I wanted to ask questions related to if there was any other secret gameplay activities that we can get our hands on, like the Red Worm with season 1, if there was anything planned like that to come in season 3, if there's anything planned like that to come in future seasons. But when you hear straight from Kevin's mouth that essentially Treyarch are no longer working on MWZ and instead Sledgehammer Games have been passed the baton to continue on the seasonal content, it kind of makes me feel like no matter what we suggest or want to have added in the mode, everything that we're ever gonna get in the future seasons has already been planned, scheduled, created, at least from the story perspective, already probably set in stone and finished. And as much as I would love the wishful thinking of some really cool things being added to this mode in the future, be it season 3, season 4, season 5, with the fact that Treyarch have departed, it just kind of makes me feel like it makes it even less likely for that to happen than the likelihood of it happening, which was pretty much near zero anyway. And it is a shame because I would love there to just be a slight difference from the same cookie cutter Dark Aether Rift quest, unlocking the new schematics, and then there not being any more reasons to ever go back and play again. I'd just love there to be just something a little bit different, something to switch it up. But with the huge changes they're making with the schematic cooldowns and the stashes, it sounds like there is going to be a lot of really good improvements to come to the mode over the next few updates. And I would love you guys to put any questions, feedback, or suggestions you have on what you want to see added to the mode in the comment section down below, because I scoured all of them from season 2's video, and the majority of you were all asking for the cooldowns on the schematics to be reduced because they were absolutely insane, as well as a stash size increase. So it seems from at least what most of you were asking for from season 2, that is now happening, which is good. But of course, we want to see even more improvements and additions added to the mode. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below.